Hello, 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 everyone. Everyone, hello, hello, hello. Well, it took us some time to get here, but we are here. This is the Essential Discourse Podcast live stream. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'm really interested to hear from you in regards to your thoughts and your feedback and your questions concerning our current series entitled What is a Man? Now, this was supposed to happen yesterday. I had something that I had to take care of, and it kind of threw everything um, kind of sideways. But here we are. Here we are. So, um, I want to begin by just saying what brought me to raising that question. What is a man? And it came from a place of I was seeing a lot of discourse, a lot of conversations on the internet, saying what a man is, and all men are this, or all women was this, and a lot of negative type of comments about the genders, specifically um, men. And it got me to wonder about, what is a man in reference to what is being um, categorized as a man in the public eye. And once I started doing that, man, I was like, the first thing that came to my mind, a man is a provider, a protector, and a producer, right? That was the first thing that came to my mind. But that doesn't speak to what a man is, that speaks to what a man does. So um, it led me to doing some research. It led me into doing some reading, doing some evaluation, some assessments in regards to what is a man. And so the first episode was an introduction to kind of get us conceptually prepared for the question, to kind of lay a foundation. And then the second episode, the origin of a man, and where we really went back to the absolute beginning of man, you know, Genesis, and looked at that, and we looked at um, the benefits and the charge of the first man, Adam. And our next episode, which we'll be launching here shortly, deals with what is a man, um, from boys to men. But I think this is a question that a lot of people have never really considered. You know, we say that I'm a man because I've got all the women. We say I'm a man because I go to work. We say I'm a man because I've got children. I, I'm a man because of the way that I dress. I'm a man because of this, that, and the other. But none of that really answers the question. And if you have listened to the podcast, you would know that my personal thought process on this is that this is a ever evolving definition, and it should be an ever evolving definition for each man according to his understanding and knowledge. And I'm just interested to see what you guys thought or what your questions would be in regards to the content that has been presented thus far. And I will tell you that this has been challenging for me. This has been very challenging for me from the standpoint of, I really had to look at this thing and see how I was measuring up according to the standard that we addressed, and according to uh, what I've laid my hands to do and how I've done what I've laid my hands to do, and even if what I did was it right. So that piece of it was something that has been challenging to me. I've had to go back and just assess and reassess and define and redefine what a man is for myself. And I'm hopeful that for the men who have taken the time to listen to these two episodes thus far, I'm hopeful that it has had the same type of effect upon you. To the sisters who have listened to the podcast, does this information as it's been presented, this content as it's been presented, does it make you redefine what you say a man is? Does it really cause you to take into account, the folks you've been dealing with? You know, we man is one of those terms that has been so devalued over the last 20, 30 years. Um, People say real man. Okay. What's that? You know, some people say there aren't any good men. Okay. What's a good man? And you can't put adjectives on man until you first define what a man is. I think that makes pretty good sense. You know, no sense in me, no sense in me trying to put adjectives on something that I don't really understand what it is. And so, um, yeah, I'm just waiting for you guys' feedback to start coming through. I want to communicate with you guys in this regard, dealing with this subject. So this has been a very, very, very um, I don't want to say hard. I want to say it's been very enlightening. It has been some soul searching work, and it's also been um, some work for which um, I've benefited from. I've benefited from, and it's also caused me to repent as well. It's caused me to say, man, I missed the mark totally in certain aspects of my life and certain things that I was doing, and call myself being a man about the situation. You know, you often hear people say, man up, put your big boy pants on. Yeah, but how do I man up when I don't even know, at the basic level what a man is? Yeah. So that is one of those things, man, what you have to say, you know, it's confrontational, it's uncomfortable. You may not even like it, but the truth has an ability to make you better, to cause you to want to be better when you just accept it and assess yourself and go forward with the intentions on becoming better. Yeah. So um, I don't know how long we're going to be on tonight. Is based on the participation that we receive in regards to this live feed. Um, Currently, we don't have that many viewers, which is not surprising. It is Saturday night, and I know people have other things going on, but hopefully we'll start seeing some individuals get on, and we can talk about this from an aspect of discussing what it is that we have been talking about over the last few weeks. Uh, Additionally, I'm sorry, initially, I intended to do this series in 5 parts. The first was The Origin of Man, which is out now, From Boys to Men. which is getting ready to drop, getting ready to be published. The misconception of a man or manhood is the third part. Discipline of a man and the importance of a man. Now, origin of a man, um, origin of a man. I think we really need to pay attention to that origin. Um, and if you haven't listened to that episode, I think that you would be. Uh, I think it wouldn't hurt you. Let me put it that way. It wouldn't hurt you to invest 30, 40 minutes of your time to listen to that. See where you agree, see where you disagree. If you agree or disagree, you know, get in these comments, let me know, and we can talk about it. Um, from boys to men, I'll give you guys a sneak peek at what that is going to cover. I think that a lot of individuals look at man from a legalism standpoint. You know, once you reach a certain age, you're a man. And I also believe that many males do not invest the same amount of energy, effort, and attention to the mental and spiritual aspects of manhood that they invest into the physical aspect. Think about it. You get up every morning, you wash your face, hopefully, you brush your teeth, you make sure your hair is straight, you put on a fit. If you really got something uh, hot and popping to do, you make sure that fit is clean from head to toe. You put cologne on. You make sure that there's no dirt under your nails. You make sure there's no smudges or smears on your shoes. You put your jewelry on if you're into that. You know, you take care of that physical aspect. You feed yourself every day. You drink water or some kind of beverage when you're thirsty. Uh, you provide your body with medicine if you need it. You do all these things to um, take care of the physical. But how often do we pick up a book to improve our mental? How often do we research what's going on in our communities or something that we struggle with, something that we identify that we struggle with? How often is it that we seek knowledge and understanding to develop the mental aspect to match up or to mirror our physical aspects? And the same thing with the spiritual. Uh, That is holistically, that is the holistic being of a man or a woman for that standpoint. And I think that many of us spend a whole lot of time dressing up that physical and strengthening that physical and taking care of that physical, and the mental and the spiritual aspects of it suffer. And it shows. And it shows. Um, several, there's several talking heads out there who say uh, men are incapable of love. You know, there's a lot of females out here talking about you need to stop messing with men. There's a lot of men out here saying, "Hey, you're a high valued man. You need a woman to match that." Eh, I don't know too much about that. I don't. I really don't. And I'm not here to say that one's right and the other's wrong. But I am saying that if we focus more on ourselves holistically, a lot of these conversations wouldn't need to be had. You know, we wouldn't be making the decisions that we make that lead us to pain, that lead us to uh, challenges going down the road. You have made life with the wrong male or female, and now you got problems for the next 18, 21, 25 years, you know. But had you been stewarding uh, your physical, mental, and spiritual, perhaps you wouldn't have made those decisions. You know, perhaps you would have paid attention to those flags. Not necessarily red flags, not necessarily green flags. It could have been some yellow flags up there, some cautions that say, "Hey, maybe I need to reevaluate what I'm doing with this individual, what I'm attempting to do with this individual." So that is pre a preview of part three, which is from boys to men. Boys to men most likely will be a combination. Part three will most likely include misconceptions of a man or manhood as well. And in preparing for that, I was able to interview a 16-year-old young man, young male, I should say, on his thoughts about what manhood looks like, what manhood is. And I was very happy that I was able to get that interview done. Um, I was somewhat surprised and I was somewhat um, thrilled by the responses that this 16-year-old male high school student provided me in regards to what is a man. Now, I will say, we need to guard against foolishness that we allow to enter our end gates. We need to guard against that. Some of us, man, we're not mature enough to listen to a lot of this foolishness and be able to say, "Hey, nah, that's just complete foolishness." Some of us, we're not intentional enough to say, that sounds good, but let me go and research this for myself to see if what Leroy Jenkins is saying is true or what Mary Sue is saying is true. I need to let me go research that for myself to see if these things are so. A lot of us, we we won't do the research. We won't do the fact checking. We won't verify these sources that we are getting our information from. And we end up being influenced by individuals who themselves don't know what they're talking about. And that's just one of the craziest things in the world for me. I mean, why would I take directions uh trying to get up a hill from a blind man? Why would I allow a blind man to lead me knowing I don't know where I'm going? He can't see. So I'm going to follow his directions. That's crazy. But that's what we do. That's what we do when we do not guard against false information, when we do not guard against what could be true, but we don't verify. We just run with it. And sometimes you get yourself in a bad fix because we didn't verify the source. Not only did we not verify the source, we didn't verify the information. So I'm hoping that whatever you hear come out of my mouth, that not only would you listen to it, but you would also verify it. And again, if you are not in agreement, that's fine. We can talk about it. In fact, I want to talk about it. I welcome the opportunity to talk about it. And if you agree, you know, I welcome the opportunity to talk about that as well. Um, again, again, I'm proud of this work. I really am. I'm proud of this work. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I am proud of this work. I think that this is something that more men and ladies, I think that you guys can ask the same question. What is a woman? I think that you guys can ask the same question and have these type of discussions, and we can begin to sharpen and to help build each other up, where we don't have to sit here and wonder. We know what right looks like, and because we know what right looks like, we should be able to set boundaries of what we're willing to accept, what we're not going to accept, without judging, without being judgmental, But to set those boundaries up where we're not finding ourselves in a situation where we're dealing with uh, adult males, adult females, when we thought we were dealing with women and men. So uh, this is a great platform for someone to get out there and start having these discussions, because these true and real discussions, man, they will make us better if we do something with the information, and if our intentions are to edify, are to edify. Let me say that again: are to edify, not to shame, not to argue, not to judge, but to edify. I think that we can all benefit from this. So again, I'm proud of this work that I've been blessed to do, that has been placed in my hands to bring out. Um, there's been a lot of studying. There has been a lot of things going on in regards to that, and so um, again, I'm still waiting uh, to uh, to get some more comments. I'm still waiting for our people to come on in and join the party. Again, I know it's Saturday and you guys are going to be able to view this at a later point in time. Um, but I want to start doing these live discussions about these podcasts, because I think that, well, I know I can't cover everything. And there are some things, as transparent as I try to be, um, I'm not able sometimes to be very clear, or as clear as I need to be, for those of you who are listening. So those questions, those comments, those are things that really help us out. And when I say us, I'm talking about me. That's a force of habit. I'm sorry, but it helps me out to gauge the level of of communication, the effectiveness of the communication that I am having with you, the listening public, in regards to the subject matter at hand. Um, so I want to know. I see Miss Smith, you're on here. I want to know what your thoughts were on uh, the episodes that you listened to. First, tell me if you listened to one or both of the episodes, and I also want to know what your thoughts were about those two episodes. If you're still on here, I would love to um, hear or read your comments and share them on on the stream. Um, what else is going on with this particular? Uh, Good information. Well, thank you, love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, there are there are times in our lives, guys. There are times in our lives where, I know this is going to sound cliche. I know this is going to sound cliche to quite a few people, but there are times in your life when you realize that good just ain't good enough. And you also understand that better is possible. Not only is better possible, but better is obtainable if you and I are willing to put in the work to achieve better. And that is the whole purpose of Essential Discourse Podcast and Essential Discourse Media. It is to encourage us to achieve better from a standpoint of interpersonal relationships and intrapersonal relationships. That internal relationship with yourself, knowing yourself, being honest with yourself, addressing the issues that you have within yourself, and then being better with yourself, and that in turns will allow you to have better interpersonal relationships with other people. And that is a great, great, great thing. So Ms. Smith said the topic really makes you think, and that is the intent. That is the absolute drive, the goal of this. I want us thinking, not reacting. I want us thinking so that we can respond appropriately, so that we can respond appropriately uh, to the situations that we're in, the circumstances that we may be encountering. Excuse me. I want us thinking. I want us thinking and not reacting. When we react, we get ourselves in trouble because we fail to think. When we react, we make bad decisions. When we react, we are lining ourselves up to experience consequences and instead of benefits, rewards. So, absolutely, I want us thinking. I want us thinking. Um, Again, I want to say thank you to you guys. Giving you a preview of the next podcast episode that is coming up. I have given you, um, from my standpoint, the things that may have needed to be clarified from the first two episodes. Um, if you guys would, in the comments area, can you suggest a good time or a good day for us to have these discussions? A good time and a good day to have these discussions. I am desperate. Let me put it that way. I am desperate uh, for conversation with you guys. I'm desperate. I'm desperate. I'm desperate, and I want to meet you uh, where you are in regards to your time, your availability, to get on these, to make use of the technology that we have, so that we can communicate. Maybe I can open up the phone lines and we can hear your comments as well, and I can respond to those. I'm open. I'm open for this communication. I'm open for this discourse, this dialogue. I'm open for it. There's things that I can learn from you guys, but I can't learn it if you're silent. And that's what we're here for. I need you. Um, I yeah, I need you, and we need each other. So I want to encourage you not to be uh, standoffish, right? I want to encourage you not to be standoffish. I want to encourage you to interact with both Essential Discourse Podcast and Essential Discourse Podcast Media. As you can see in the left corner of your screen, this is all my contact information, all my channels. Facebook, Bruce the Truth 2, or Essential Discourse with Bruce Smith. You can follow me at Bruce the Truth 2 at TikTok and uh, Instagram. I'm no longer on Twitter, X. I got rid of that. I only had 13 subscribers, and they weren't interacting. So um, there's a whole lot of things going on Twitter, formerly X, formerly known as Twitter, and I'm not vibing that. So I'm no longer on that application. So the next time that we shall see each other in this form. That Twitter thing won't be there. But again, you can also follow me at YouTube on my YouTube channel at EDP Media, or you can type in Essential Discourse Podcast Media. And with that being said, guys, it's been 34 minutes, about to hit 35. I dare not uh, mess with your time for much longer. Again, I want to say thank you for those of you who tuned in and those of you who participated in this live. Thank you to you who will watch it um, at a later point in time. Again, uh, whenever you watch it, leave me a comment. Let me know what day and what time, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not a specific date, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and what time would be a good time for us to come together and talk about uh, the most recent uh, episodes that we launched. Oh, well, my sister, I'm. Come on, come on. What can we do to get men engaged in the discussion? Um, that is a great question, ma'am. I think that one, we have to engage them despite them not wanting to be engaged. You know, presentation, presentation of, hey, have you ever thought about blase blase, or for the matter of what we're talking about? Have you, man? Have you ever thought about what a man is? And armed with the truth that we have been exposed to about this so far, begin to kind of probe them to see where they are. And I would say encourage them to watch bits and pieces of, or just listen to bits and pieces of a particular episode and say, hey, man, we have a discussion every, whatever night we decide on, and say, hey, we're talking about this right now, or there's a guy who's talking about this right now, man, and he's open to answer your questions, or to 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 hear what your thoughts are on it. Um, I really think that, and this really broke my heart. It really broke my heart. I was in the Clean Mall, trying to get some impromptu interviews about this. And I walked into several stores, several shops where there were nothing but men in there. And I was like, hey guys, I'm who I am and this is what I'm doing. Can I ask you guys a question? And I asked these gentlemen this question, and they were like, it was like I wasn't even there. Some of them just put their heads down, you know, like like they were in middle school again. I hope they don't call on me. I hope they don't call. I hope they don't call me up to the board. Others just sat there like, they hadn't heard anything, and I could tell that some were pondering. Uh, and this wasn't just young men. This was middle-aged men, old men, older men, older men. And it's like, and I walked out of there and I was like, what are we doing where we don't have a ready answer to tell people what it is that we say that we are? So I think that just uh, engaging men, or at a level, or at a I don't want to say at a level, but in a way that is not threatening or not accusatory, or because sometimes we take things the wrong way, just based off of presentation. So I think if we would uh, engage them in a way that is not threatening, not super confrontational, but just engage them and invite them to join the conversations that are being had, and let them know that their voices matters, and what their thoughts are matters. Come on, let's learn together. Let's be edified. I think that that works. You got to have you got to show yourself friendly. You got to show yourself willing to um, educate, willing to um, disagree, willing to say, hey, I don't know, but I'll find out. You know, we can't be so hypocritical where we will, can't be so hypocritical to think that, where we are is where we've always been. Does that make sense? I think that turns a lot of people off too sometimes, especially men, especially when they feel like they're attacked. So I don't, let's, I think that we would tailor our presentation of the questions, and advise them, and encourage them to join these discussions and to listen to the subject matter. I think that that would be great. Now, on a larger scale, I think that we have to have men who are really willing to reach out to other men, not just, hey, listen to my podcast or watch me on TV, but actually be out in these communities, in these, where men are, and, uh, engage with them there. Not necessarily about what, we're talking about, but engage with them and build relationships, build rapport, be respectable, uh, be who we say we are outside, in the streets, in the schools, in McDonald's. Be who we say we are. And I think that would do more to draw more men into these discussions. That was a great question. And I hope I answered that. I hope it makes sense. I really appreciate you asking that question. Um, Marcus, I see that you're on here, man. Thank you for joining us today. Um, So our time is 41. Do we have any other questions from any of the participants out here today? I don't want to turn us off, and there's people who are who have questions or comments. Yeah. I think me and Marcus were talking, and I think Marcus said it. He's a man is a person who stands in the gap, and I'm wait. It's a person who stands in the gap, and I believe that too. I believe that too. Um, Now we got some more comments coming. Okay, good. Yeah. And so I'm waiting on this to come in. I want to answer that, and I want to give everybody an opportunity who is viewing, who is listening, an opportunity to type in your statement, and we'll address that. Man, this is wonderful, man. I'm so glad uh, that we've got people tuning in, asking really great questions, and providing me encouragement as well. Um, okay. Um, let's see. Marcus says it's really hard to talk to men these days because you have to choose your words so carefully. Um, I think that's cool. I think that's true, and I think that goes back to speak to uh, building that rapport that I just got finished speaking about. Um, I don't think we live in a time where when we were coming up, you know, older gentlemen would say, "Hey, man, let me talk to you," and we had enough respect and enough. Uh, yeah, we had enough respect. It's not going to sugarcoat that. We had enough respect to go over and hear. If we weren't listening, at least we hear what the older gentlemen were saying to us. Um, yeah, I can see how when you have to guard your words, when you have to be so strategic with what you're saying, it can be tiresome. It can be a little bit burdensome, but it's worth it. It's worth it, especially when you view um, the seriousness of this particular topic and others. Now we can see guys going down the wrong track sometimes, and we can see, hey man, you might want to rethink how you doing what you're doing, you know. But it's worth it. It's worth making the effort. I will put it that way. It's worth making the effort. It is worth investing in the warfare of communication. Yeah, it's worth it. Um, it's worth that because if we can reach one, we've been successful. And that's what this is about, man. because I don't think that I don't think that people are inherently bad, man. I think that we make bad decisions based off of. I think that most people make bad decisions based off of bad things that they've seen, bad things that they have witnessed, not really having great models, role models, not really having someone to mentor themselves after. Um, you know, man, I don't mind sharing this with you guys. Um, Early in my life, I didn't see what a man does on a day to day basis. Early in my life, I didn't get to see that. I didn't get to see that because of the situations between, my parents. I didn't get to see that. I didn't get to see, you know, a man in a day to day role doing what he's doing. And I think that, you know, when we are who we say we are, men, people are watching. You know, youngsters are watching. They're they're they are they are they are making their judgments about what you're doing. Yeah, and that's what and that's what I'm talking about right there, um, Marcus. I didn't have that, but just the ministry of being present, you know, that really helped and shaped my life and made it for the better. When I got to, and it was someone that I can depend on. It was a other man, and that was great. And I think that us just being there, that really helps. That's why it's so difficult for so many to answer your question. I believe so as well. I believe so as well. And um, I'm learning, guys. I'm learning too. Um, because nobody ever asked me this. I don't recall, anybody saying, "Hey, let me teach you what a man is." I don't. I'm sorry. I don't remember anybody ever just come here, boy. Let me teach you what a man is. I don't recall that. It wasn't until it wasn't until I got to it wasn't until I joined the military that I got to see men on a day to day basis do men stuff on a day to day basis. And I didn't hang out with the guys who were my age. I hung out with the older fellas. I was always around those older guys. Yeah. And this is also true. Some people are just bad. Yeah. Yeah. See, now you taking me back to my policing days. Yeah. You taking me back to my policing days. Um, I I remember, man. I remember when I started out, I was a night cop. I was a night police officer, and the nighttime people are different than daytime people. Believe it or not, nighttime people are different than daytime people. Daytime people respond to, "Hey, sir, could you please move your car? You're in a tow zone, right?" Nighttime people, they don't respond to that. You gotta MF them and get your goddamn on self over here. You you working on going to jail. You got to talk to nighttime people kind of rough to get them to respond in the same way that daytime people would respond to, "Sir, please, ma'am." That nature. That's what that that's what that statement reminded me of. So I think we do have to meet people where they are. We do have to meet people where they are, and not allow their response to us trying to meet them where they are to change who we are and how we present ourselves, if that makes any sense. I know it's hard sometimes. I ain't gonna even lie. Sometimes you wanna cuss, you wanna fuss, you want to put them paws on people from time to time. But You got to respond and not react. We just got finished talking about that. We got to think and we got to respond and we got to react. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. Really enjoying this. We got any more statements? Any more comments? Oh, nah, that and the drunks, that and the drunks, and people who you just can't tell nothing. They done slept all day. They mad and spent all their money on fooga booga. And so yeah, uh, man, this is wild. But yeah, what is a man, ladies and gentlemen? What is a man? What is a man? What is a man? I think everyone would agree that a man is responsible. A man is accountable. A man is reliable. A man is uh, reasonable. That was just a few things a man is. You know, and I think these few things that I've just outlined what a man is dictate what a man does. But that's that's my thought process at this time, at this point in time. Episode one, I told you that this is a excuse me, that this is a progressive definition. It should be a progressive definition for the lifetime of every man. But this has been great. This has been good. We are on 52 minutes. Trying to see if there's any more statements before I bid you farewell until the next time. Again, please, 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 please let me know what would be a good time and a good day for us to have these discussions going forward. Um, Podcast episodes normally come out every second Thursday and every fourth Thursday. So the second and fourth Thursdays of each month, podcast episodes come out. I know I'm behind right now, but I'm a solo podcaster, gang, and this is hard work. I'm the audio engineer, I'm the lighting engineer, I'm the editor, I'm the producer, I'm the host. So it's a little challenging, man, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So I would love to um, get your feedback on a better time, a more appropriate time, so we can all get together and we can all interact. And to oh, I missed this. Oh, this is a good statement. I missed that. Ms. Anderson says, as a single mother, I helped my son define what it means to be a man by what I wanted. We pop that up again, but what I wanted in a man. Wow. Wow. That was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. And that goes to the video. That goes to the video. The video of what is a man. And I saw, and if you saw that, you saw that the ladies in that video, they had a ready answer for that question. They had a ready answer for that question. What is a man? Uh, Thank you, Miss Anderson, for your comment, for that comment. Um, that is that is true. That that is true. I can say that my mother did the same thing with me. I can say that. I can say that. I I I think I made a statement to someone today. It doesn't matter how excellent of a mother you have as a young man, as a young male. It doesn't matter how excellent of a mother you have. You could have the world's greatest mother. She can check as many of the boxes as she possibly can. But at some point, she is going to miss the mark on helping you become a man because she's never been a man. And the question that was raised earlier, how do we get men to engage? It's paramount, because if we don't have men engaged with our young males, we're going to be in a state where the ideal of man, the terminology of man, we won't even be able to recognize it. So we do need to engage. We do need to, despite the fact that we might get shot down, we do need to engage these brothers in these conversations about what is a man and manhood. And this is a response to Mrs. Anderson's question, did it work? And this is Miss Anderson's response. It worked in certain aspects of his life, but it didn't complete him as a man. And that's pretty much what I just stated as well. It doesn't matter how great of a mother one may have. You're going to miss the mark when it comes down to building a man, shaping a man, because women have never, a true woman, a biological woman has never been a man. So there are some things that you won't know. There are some things that you won't understand as a biological woman trying to help shape, help build a man. That's why it's important for us as men to stand in the gap, like Marcus said earlier, and to just be who we say we are, and to continue to try to engage these young males holistically. We need to engage them holistically, mind, body, and spirit. We need to engage them. We need to think. We need to respond, not react. So we have had some great dialogue. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We are pushing up on an hour now, and I'm going to have to end this because we can continue to go on and on and on. But excuse me. I want to ensure that if people come back and watch this at a later point in time, that they would have the necessary time to finish watching this program. Miss Anderson, Miss Conley, Mr. Kennedy, Miss Smith, thank you guys for tuning in and chiming in. I really appreciate you guys being on this live and listening and engaging in this live. We will see you guys at a later point in time. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. See you guys at a later point in time. Be on the lookout for What is a Man Part 3. What is a Man Part 3, from boys to men, and possibly misconceptions of manhood combined into that one. All right, guys, I love you. Check me out, follow me, leave me comments. If you want to be a guest, get with me, let me know, and we can work it out. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I love you. Peace and blessings be unto you. Thank you for being here.
This concludes this episode of Essential Discourse with Bruce Smith. We hope that your perspective has been elevated, that you have been edified, equipped, and encouraged as a result of listening today. If you found value in this episode, please recommend this podcast to your friends, families, associates, and colleagues. You can accomplish this by linking the podcast or podcast episode to your personal social media page. Your feedback and questions are welcomed. Please utilize the Facebook business page, Essential Discourse with Bruce Smith, or the Facebook group page, Essential Discourse Podcast Community, to provide your feedback. Additionally, please feel free to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast streaming app. For additional information about the podcast, the host, guests, and more, please visit www.edpshow.com. Until next time, remember, it's okay to extend yourself a measure of grace. We learn to grow. We grow to mature. We mature to be perfected. Thanks again for listening to Essential Discourse with Bruce Smith.